Are your trading strategies not performing in live trading the way you would like to see them performing? Then maybe you're making one of your very common optimization mistakes, like this one, which I'm going to talk about deeply today. So let's get to it. Hi, my name is Thomas, also known as the Mr. Breakout. I'm a breakout trading specialist and an internationally recognized trading author. I've traveled the world trading breakout strategies, and on this channel I will teach you my own way of finding the right trading opportunities and making real money with breakout trading. Welcome back, breakout trading fans, breakout trading traders, breakout trading specialists. Listen, profitable trading does not need to be complicated. It can be quite simple, but it needs to be done right, the proper way. Now, a lot of traders, they are capable of developing trading strategies, but often these strategies do not work well in live trading. Actually, quite often they're not. Those strategies are losing money. Now, there are a couple of reasons why this could be happening, but one of them obviously is ever-known issue of overfitting or over-optimization. In other words, we always have to make sure we're optimizing correctly. And optimization by itself, it's a huge topic. By the way, I'll be talking more about optimizations in upcoming videos as well, so don't forget to subscribe. But now let's talk about the first very important thing when it comes to proper optimization, and that is, for which metric should you even optimize? So what I did, and I prepared for you a very thorough analysis where I'm going to show you exact numbers, which will help you understand that picking the correct optimization method, or sorry, not method, but metric, it's really important. It's quite essential. And I'm a data-driven guy. I'm running my own hedge fund, so I don't have the luxury of guessing. I always have to back everything by real numbers. So the approach that I took for this analysis to share with you goes like this, just to let you understand. I basically prototype 3,500 swing strategies. So this is swing strategies, but works the same for day trading strategies, doesn't really matter. Now, how did I prototype 3,500 strategies? I did so with the Mr. Breakout's formula, which allows me to prototype strategies really easily and really quickly. If you want to know more, there's absolutely free course, including free trading strategy on the link below, so you can get more information there. Okay, let's get back. So now we know that we have 3,500 strategies. What I did, I exported these strategies in sample and out of sample. That means optimized results, optimized part of data, and unoptimized. What I did, each strategy, I split the data into 70 or 80% in sample, which is the piece of data which was used to optimize, and the rest were so-called unseen data out of sample. So these unseen data really help us to see what happens if we prefer a specific in-sample metric, what happens with out-of-sample results, and we can assess this on 3,500 strategies. Then I loaded all the data into the Breakout OS, and now I'm going to show you which in-sample metrics deliver good out-of-sample performance. And that's the proof. That's what you need to know. If we optimize for average trade, profit factor, net profit, which one actually will give you good out-of-sample performance, which is the best predictive metric to improve your trading results? Or in other words, how to optimize correctly with the proper metric. So as I said, I loaded all the strategies into the Breakout OS. And now, first of all, what I did is a couple of things. So first of all, I remove outliers. The reason simply is that sometimes some strategies are just outliers. Sometimes it can be even mistakes in data. So there's an automatic process to remove outliers. Because these outliers are skewing the results and giving us a not really correct approach, not correct view, correct perspective. And then I also removed negative in sample data. It's here. Why did I remove negative in sample data? Because that's how we would mimic real trading. Remember, I only prototyped 3,500 breakout strategies. I did not sort them out in any way. Now, if you would be about to deploy a strategy, definitely the in-sample data, the in-sample part needs to be positive. There's no point you would deploy losing strategies. So we also remove negative in-sample data. And what we're left with, it's basically very important picture where we can see how in-sample specific metrics is affecting out of sample. Now, this might look a little bit weird. Stay with me, please, because this is the essence of the entire study. So what I can do here right now, I can basically see that the higher, or let me rephrase, the usual assumption is that the higher the in-sample metric, the higher we should see ideally, or similarly high we should see out of sample, which is basically expressed by this red line. So if there is connection between in-sample optimized data and out-of-sample results, then this red line should go from this corner here. That would be the ideal. Okay, so the steeper the angle, the more we know that if we pick strategies with higher in-sample profit factor, we should also see quite high profit factor in out-of-sample, which is this y-axis. Okay. And already by the first glance, and I started with profit factor because that's what I have said here. Already by the first glance, we can see that this line is pretty much flat, almost flat. So that alone is already telling us, hey, wait, if you want to optimize your strategies for profit factor, this doesn't work on out of sample, like not at all. The result, you can really tune for the peak, very high profit factor in sample metric, yet the out of sample do not care. In out of sample, the numbers are all over the place, and the correlation between 3,500 in sample data and out of sample data are just 14.8%. That means there's no dependency. The dependency between profit factor in sample and out of sample is almost zero, almost nothing. Okay, so this alone is already showing us you should not expect that when you optimize for very high profit factor, you will also get profit factor in live trading. Not gonna happen, period. Now, a lot of traders actually do optimize for profit factor, and I think it's a big mistake. Now, what happens if we optimize for high profit factor? What would happen with out of sample net profit? That's a very important question. So net profit, it's a little bit better. Now the correlation is 20%, okay? And now we can see the slope is a little bit slightly higher. But what we can also see here is that if you want to optimize for profit factor, then it should not be the peak value. You should not push the profit factor to the highest possible levels, because what really is going on here is that average profit factor delivers pretty much average net profit out of sample performance. So in other words, if I would have 10 strategies and I would have to pick based on profit factor, I would probably pick strategies around the mean of the in-sample profit factor. And for me, that would be more of a predictability than peak values. Again, the peak values in profit factor do not suggest anything about peak profit, net profit performance in out of sample. So first of all, profit factor for me, I never use that, and I'm never ever going to use it because it just doesn't deliver. It does nothing. I would say that much smarter way is to use, let's say, net profit. So if we try to maximize the in-sample net profit, the chances that we will also have good net profit in out of sample are much higher. You can see that the slope is already much higher as well, and the correlation is above 50%. Now, hear me out. About 60% correlation in our industry in any study is already quite good. So what we're seeing here, that actually optimizing for net profit, maximizing net profit, it's much wiser choice than optimizing for profit factor, and it will already give us definitely much better results in out of sample. Now, how about average trade? A lot of also people do this, they optimize for average trade. So average trade, again, as bad as profit factor. If we optimize for higher average trade, does not improve our net profit much in out of sample, not just improves, but it will not deliver good out of sample performance. And it's a little bit okay if we're expecting high average trade in true out of sample based on in sample optimization. The correlation jumps higher, but far away from the net profit. So far, net profit is the best metric to optimize for. Now, a lot of traders, they optimize for percent profitable. They want really high percent profitability. They want to be right all the time. I want to show you something. This is the worst metric ever. I mean, like ever. Do not even bother. There is zero correlation. There is no any dependency. Basically, optimizing for a high win percentage tells you nothing, absolutely nothing about your true out of sample performance. So if you are optimizing for win percentage, expect absolutely nothing. It will give you no edge. It will give you no predictability, not even for net profit. It will give you absolutely nothing. Forget it. Okay. Next one, quite common as well, could be TradeStation index, and that's what I use quite a lot. And TradeStation index versus net profit does have a little bit higher correlation and a little bit of a slope. So again, not as good as net profit, but does have some edge. So TradeStation index, you have to Google it. TradeStation index is a metric built in TradeStation. Again, I use it a lot, almost exclusively. Now, is it worse than net profit? It is. Is it better than profit factor? Yes. Better than average trade? Yes. Better than win percentage? Yes. So this is definitely the second best one. I'm confident. I've been using TradeStation index for 12, 15 years. That's what I use. That's what I like a lot. So although mathematically not the strongest winner, it is a good metric, and despite it's worse, and I would say significantly worse than net profit, I would still recommend it. If you use it, you don't need to be worried to keep using it. We can also have a look on some metrics like win-loss ratio could be interesting. So win-loss ratio versus net profit. Let's have a look. And don't forget, this study has been performed on 3,500 strategies built with Mr. Breakout's formula, which again, you can download completely for free here with example strategy from my hedge fund, real strategy from my hedge fund on the link below. So 3,500 strategies. Let's get back to it. Win-loss ratio versus net profit. Nothing, guys. It's even getting worse. There's no any predictability. How about drawdown? Maximum intraday drawdown. And this doesn't work for some reason. I'm not sure why. Oh, yeah, we have to remove negative values here. Okay, so we have a very high negative correlation. Actually, let me start with the drawdown, maximum drawdown here. And what we can see here is that if we actually minimize drawdown in sample, we should be also seeing overall better drawdowns in out of sample. So that's quite important. Okay, so drawdowns make sense to optimize them as well. And definitely if you aim for lower drawdown in sample, you will see lower drawdowns in out of sample. Now, I know, guys, this is a lot of information. You can ask more questions in comments below, and I can get back to this video and do a bit deeper research and expand more on these numbers. Let's take this as an introduction and answering the key questions, how you should start optimizing correctly. And now let me give you the answer, because it's something overall based on my experience anyway. So the answer is, if you're optimizing for the highest net profit, this will do. This will give you much better out of sample performance. If you will be improving the maximum drawdown in sample, it will also improve your out of sample data, your live performance. Now, net profit and maximum drawdown are combined into so-called TradeStation index. TradeStation index is a metric developed by TradeStation. So if you don't know what it is, go and ask ChatGPT what is TradeStation index. It will tell you the calculation. So for me, TradeStation index is still the preferred way because it combines both net profit and maximum drawdown. And this study on 3,500 strategies, and again, you can create 3,500 strategies with the completely free course below this video. With these 3,500 strategies, we gathered enough data to know this is the direction. Most importantly, we gathered the data to let you know, never optimize for profit factor. My God, so many people optimize for profit factor. Forget it. Doesn't work. Never ever optimize for win percentage. That's a totally dead path that leads to nowhere. It will just make your live trading like horrible. Okay, it will just fail greatly. And never optimize for average trade or net profit or the average win-loss ratio. Just doesn't work. So net profit, drawdown, or combination of both, net profit drawdown ratio. If you start optimizing correctly for those metrics, you made first huge jump ahead to start actually creating strategies which will work in live trading. So what do you think? Let me know in comments below. Give me a thumb up if you want more content like this and if you like videos like this. And I'll be back with even more analysis and more tips on optimization. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Meanwhile, happy breakout trading.